Back with us here, we are in our own little corner of this 653-acre site that houses the University of the West Indies' Mona campus in Jamaica. We are at the UWI-JFF Captain Horace Burrell's Centre of Excellence, where Portmore United and Arnott Gardens will do battle in the penultimate game of match week 2. These two teams, 5 to Arnott Gardens, and of course Portmore United have the distinction of being two-time Caribbean Football Union club champions. Neither team got a win in the opening week. Arnott Gardens beaten despite a decent performance. Portmore United listless for much of the contest, did play better in the second half, and Shea Smith's equaliser gaining them a share of the points from their opening game. Sent forward. Deacon wins the first throw for Arnott Gardens as we catch a glimpse of Lenworth Teacher Hyde. Has won every competition that he's sent a team in Jamaican football, even business house football. Coached Petrojam for several years, has won schoolboy football champ, has been a schoolboy football champion, Premier League champion in 3 teams. And he just guided Clarendon College to the Champions Cup. Not the cup he wanted, although it's the only one not in their locker.
It was the only one not in his locker as well.
There you go. Here come Portmore United. The St. Lucian on the ball, McFarlane. And slips Jimison down the right-hand side. Did he keep it in? No, he didn't. Alvinus Myers had a decent game in that first outing for Portmore United. Has 10 games under his belt, as we see the misplaced pass that Tamara Deacon sprints onto. A shot on goal, it's low, and the goalkeeper Eric Edwards shovels it away. Deacon keeps it alive. Arnott still attacking. Willis wanted it, it plays back, and the shot on goal was by Arbon. Kimani Arbon had 2 bites at the cherry, once from the run of play when he was leading the attack, and then just now from the top of the 18, couldn't quite connect the second chance. The first one needed a save from the goalkeeper.
Decent attempt by Airborne. There it is, first one going towards the far corner.
Jimison on the run for Portmore. Shea Smith runs towards the 18, stops outside. Portmore slow down the attack. All the way back to Austin. Centre half these days. Myers out wide to Jimison. Myers once again, the St. Lucian.
Keep the shape! Keep the shape! No chance!
Austin forward to Smith. Smith first touch is good.
Slowly, back in slowly!
Stevens. Myers once again.
No turn!
Portmore patient in possession early. Turnover comes though. Cephas forward, Arbon can't trap it, and Austin will just allow it to run through to his goalkeeper Eric Edwards. Poor pass by Rose intended for Rousseau, but Stevens takes some studs on the instep, and the referee Narissa Gosa says free kick. There's Eric Rademakers holding things down because Teagat Davis can't handle the team from inside the venues. We told it was an administrative issue. Oh, bad turnover. This is Rose. Myers. So wanted it, but Deacon was covering his run. Very good defending from the Arnott Gardens winger, tracking back. Jimison has seen a lot of the ball so far. And the cross block, the cross attempted by Tajay Brown on the overlap, overlapping his winger and wins a corner. Emilio Rousseau, his corner kicking very much hyped and touted from his days as a schoolboy.
St. George's.
Yeah, but didn't deliver well in the first game though. Donald Oliver was left distinctly underwhelmed by what Rousseau delivered, given his quality, given his record. But he had a bad day at the office from corner kicks. Let's hope that he's back to his normal self today. 5 Portmore men in the box, jostling for position. Austin making a nuisance of himself. The ball comes onto the back post. Willis, the tallest of the Arnott Gardens players, allowed it to sail over his head outside for a goal kick.
Not a bad delivery by Rousseau. A little bit deep. I think those players attacking that back post actually cancelled out each other instead of staggering themselves. Talented left foot Rousseau. Has on the captain's armband, even though it's actually experienced. Rudolph Austin, who is listed as the captain.
Deacon, very deep to get involved, and he plays Earl Simpson in.
Earl Simpson, who last season played for Portmore United, so he's made the switch. He actually scored in this fixture last season.
Rose has some space, tries to slip Smith down. Smith! Oh, what a goal! That's the opening strike, Shea Smith! Running onto the pass. And so you could just see him waiting for the right moment. And then he wheeled it that left foot. And William Price could do nothing about it. It's 1-0 to Portmore United. They've been the dominant team. They've been the aggressors so far in the 7th minute. They go 1-0 up.
Good strike by Smith, second of the season for him. Really made a good connection with the left step. Look at this, into the far corner, perfect strike. No chance for Price. Here it is again. Excellent finish into the, I would say, mid-range of the goal, to the far corner.
Pure pace on that one. William Price beaten. Went past him like a rocket. Rose had a lot of time and space to play that assist. Willis is closing down. He's closed down by Rose. Rose goes for the shot. It's low. He was a bit hurried. Perhaps he had a bit more time.
Former youth player Demar Rose, make on 17 and 20, had a bad injury with his knee for quite a while in schoolboy football. Went to Wolmer's. Exciting player.
Cephas over dribbled and lost the handle on it. Stevens over on that far side for Portmore. Oh, into the path of Jimison. Smith is giving him the passing option to his left. Jimison lost the dribble for a moment, and perhaps the momentum is lost. Still battling as Jimison goes down, hoping for a call from the referee. Doesn't get bailed out. Here's the captain for Arnott Gardens, Cephas, trying to transition his team out of danger, and he wins the free kick. Romeo Guthrie, the Arnott Gardens captain, wearing number 17. Arnott Gardens, the early setback. In possession is Gerald Neal Jr., but they just dropped the junior. His young Kunta. He even inherited the nickname his father had. Deacon to Arboy. Loses out. And Jivison, who's seen a lot of the ball in these opening 8 or so minutes for Portmore at it again. Stevens bursting forward. Can he get around Earl Simpson? Simpson has the bigger frame and uses it very well. Build out the back again, Arnott Gardens. Arboyne. Cephas has peeled off to his left. Arboyne goes on a run. Cephas shows him the passing lane. He gets it. Cephas driving into the box. Cephas is blocked by Eric Edwards with the feet. There were 2 passing options to his right. Ronaldo Cephas, as he dribbled into the box, couldn't find either.
Great change of pace by Cephas. Very dangerous player. Played very well in the first game against Cavalier.
Chance for Arnott Gardens there. You saw that one back to live action. There was a flicked header by Arboyne. He was disappointed not to get on target. And yeah, you're right, Chris. Cephas was one of the bright Arnott Gardens attackers in that opening game against Cavalier.
Yeah. Good skill, very fast with the ball. Good change of pace. he will create problems for this Portmore team.
Deacon robs Rose. Now Arnett Gardens on the attack. Slowly. Back to Willis. Haven't seen much of Shivani Willis so far in this game for the boys in red and black. Simpson. Neil wants it and gets it. Gerald Neal Jr., born in Black River, St. Elizabeth, played for Black River High School in the Da Costa Cup. And then came to Kingston to advance his playing career. He's 24 years old. His father still works in football. Last time he was the equipment manager for Mount Pleasant, the senior Neil. That's his son. 2 generations of them playing for Arnett Gardens. Gerald Neal Sr., of course, a multiple Premier League champion with Arnett Gardens, and good enough to have earned 18 caps for the senior Reggae Boys. Alvin Asmars, the St. Lucian, back into defense to Rodolph Austin. Being hurried by Arboyne. Good closing down by the Arnett Gardens front man. Austin. Those booming passes, his trademark in club football and international for the Reggae Boys. Ajay Anderson couldn't keep that one in play. And it's a throw for Arnett Gardens. So the Junglists have really yet to really start playing though, Chris.
I don't think it's been a bad start. I think actually the tempo has been good. They have conceded, but I like the tempo of play, especially when they're going forward, looking to use the flank players. Cephas has found his way into the box on a couple of occasions. They've had a header which was just wide, so positive in their play. But yeah, they have conceded. That would be the
Myers through, a lovely through pass to Shea Smith. Can he get there? Gets there ahead of Price. Smith has an empty goal. Price has run back. Rose! He miskicked.
No, it was a pass.
Well, it's still alive for Portmore. McFarlane couldn't get there, and also was robbed by Deacon, who wants to throw, but referee Nerissa Golson says, "Ah, you're trying to be clever." So that Rose effort,
it was a pass.
we're seeing on the replay. This is Alvin Asmars' straight pass.
Yeah.
So Smith, his speed takes him there ahead of Price. Look at Rose, he gets it now. Yeah, that was a pass.
Yeah. He disguised the shot. The pass was just a little bit too behind.
Ball forward for Arboyne. Asked to get on his bike. Gawain Austin going with him. 12 versus 12. And the Portmore 12 with the good tackle. Anderson. Back. And Anderson fouled off the ball. Nerissa Golson saw it. And she awards the free kick to Portmore United. Tajay Anderson holding the midriff. This is what happened. Oh, Arboyne. Wasn't intentional. He lost his balance and his head in a battering ram kind of motion into the midriff of Tajay Anderson, which is why Colson didn't produce a card. Cephas burst into the box for Arnett Gardens. Still Cephas! That's the equalizer! A strong alternative run from the Arnett Gardens number 7. Driving at the defense. Scaring up in the Portmore United defense appears to be. And Cephas dribbled, and a little toe poke beyond the goalkeeper Eric Edwards. And that's 1-1 Arnett Gardens back on level terms.
Very exciting player, Ronaldo Cephas. We spoke about his pace, the fact that he's quick with the ball. Very skillful as well. And as we thought, giving the Portmore defense a lot of problems. Made a run 5 minutes before that and was thwarted by Edwards in goal. Not this time, kind of change of pace by Cephas. Good finish, first of the season for him.
Yeah. Just a puff off the cheeks there, and the change of gear left Gawain Austin smelling tires, smelling rubber burning. Couldn't live with Cephas' pace. And then when the goalkeeper came to make his life difficult, well, did make his life difficult, but Cephas unleashed or unfurled the toe poke. And that's what
exciting time as a schoolboy at Charlie Smith. Ronaldo Cephas was really a standout player, made the team of the year when he was last year. Double-digit man in terms of scoring at the schoolboy level, and he's transitioning well at Arnett Gardens. Even last season, he was really a standout player for the Junglies.
Giovanni Willis offering apologies all around for that misplaced pass. He certainly hasn't come to the party yet. The tall man in the Arnett Gardens midfield wearing the number 21. His volley looked to have given them a point in their opening game against Cavalier. He scored in the 95th minute, only for Shaniel Thomas to come off the bench a minute later to score the winner for Cavalier. Here's Jibison under pressure, but he finds Javik McFarlane, the St. Lucian, trying to flick it over Willis's head, but Willis is tall, only hit his chest. Slowly under pressure from Smith. Slowly at least buys himself and his team some time. Rose's flick didn't really make much contact. Deacon loses out. Rousseau forward to McFarlane. Portmore attacking, and they have options. Rousseau, Rose wants it and gets it. Back into midfield. Cephas, superior speed to take him there. Deacon to his right. Arboin to his left. Still Cephas plays Arboin. Arboin takes a touch, and he can't beat the goalkeeper. He's offside anyway. Cephas held that ball too long, Chris. Arboin ran into an offside position. So is it that Arboin didn't hold his run, or Cephas took too long with the pass?
I think
or picked the wrong pass?
I think it was a right pass. He took a little bit too long. It wasn't necessary. I think Arboin was already free and could have collected earlier. One criticism of Kimani Arboin, though, needs to be a little bit more clinical with his finishing. Something we saw even last season, or even when he was a schoolboy. Runs very well, works very hard, but needs to brush up a little bit, I think, on the finishing, and he will score a lot more goals. Again, even though he ended up being offside, found the keeper. You want to be able to avoid the keeper, find that ball around. And I find too often
Austin leaves the ground, and leaves the ground with studs showing. It's a thumping challenge, or crunching challenge, beg your pardon. Yeah. Made his presence felt there.
getting a bit of a word from Mr. Grossman. Yeah, studs up.
Marlon Martin on the end of that. Kind of challenges that Rudolph Austin made a career out of making. So the other Austin taking lessons from the senior Austin. Anyway, Willis with this free kick for Arnett Gardens. We have a good game on our hands here, folks. 18th minute, and the punch from Eric Edwards. 2 fists to clear Shea Smith, with Deacon hot on his heels. Slowly, under pressure from McFarlane. And the assistant says it's an Arnett Gardens throw. The teacher, Lenny Hyde, saw his team lead and start positively. That lead has disappeared. Both defensive units look to be frightened at the opposing forwards running at them. Arnett Gardens' back line looked vulnerable when Smith and Rose and McFarlane come calling, and so to the Portmore back line, especially Cephas. They seem to be scared of him and his pace. Smith's touch is loose. Deacon drives at the heart of midfield, and Rousseau raised the left arm, and the Deacon took that in the side of the face. Rousseau versus Deacon, that's a mismatch. Deacon at a severe weight disadvantage. This is what happened, and the hand actually caught him in the face. That's a foul.
Could have been a card as well. What's your hand doing up there? He is a bit taller, but there's no need for the... You see the extent? Nah, that's unnecessary from Rousseau. And I don't think that happened by accident.
Yeah.
Cynical.
That's the hustler. His nickname, Damara Deacon. Meanwhile, the skipper, Guthrie, is taking an interest in this free kick. Willis there with a watching brief, but it looks like it's going to be Guthrie's kick, or is it Willis? 3-man wall. Willis it is. He spanks it! Looking for late drift to the right, but it held its line.
Good technique by Willis. Scored last week in the 2-1 loss against Cavalier. And really good instep technique, just wide. Had it covered though, Edwards. And as I said, didn't get the drift he was looking for.
Austin's long pass, McFarlane by his lonesome. Neil could have allowed that ball to bounce over his head because only Arnett Gardens players were there, but looks like there wasn't enough communication as we see Martin going across and fouling Jibison. And Larissa goes towards the free kick. Not sure Martin had to make that challenge that way or to make that challenge at all. This is what happened. Yeah, he had to make the challenge. Jibison got there before him though.
Another player looking to get away without a card.
Alvin Osmars going across to assist Tajay Anderson with this free kick. Portmore have committed 5 men inside the 18-yard box. And Anderson will take it. Floats it in. McFarlane, a free header. And unlike what Bygrave did yesterday from a free header situation for Lions United, McFarlane couldn't find the back of the net.
Should have done a lot better. Mistimed the jump, McFarlane. Almost jumped too early, so he was on his way down when the ball actually got to him, so that's why it went over the bar, but he was free. Good delivery into the box. Excellent delivery. Has got to do better. Unchallenged. But again, holes in the defense of Arnett Gardens. It's a problem that both teams have faced for the last couple of seasons. Disappointing seasons for them in 2021, finishing 8th and 9th respectively.
Guthrie into space for Deacon. Rousseau goes to track him. Deacon versus Rousseau. Deacon drives into the box. Deacon on the left foot. He goes for the effort, trying to curl it towards the top right-hand corner. Willis beats the turf in frustration, saying, I was close to you. You should have laid that off to me. And Deacon walks away thinking about what could have been.
Yeah, good attempt by Damar Deacon. Nice run. Love how he cut in on the left foot here. Found a little space for himself. Dropped the right shoulder. Was over the top, but not a bad attempt. The shots at this end have been a lot better today, George.
For sure, absolutely. Perhaps the difference is the shots have been inside the 18-yard box.
Maybe.
The ones we saw yesterday that are still traveling were all long-range bombs.
Well, we've seen one long-range bomb. It was close to the ground as well, a short while ago from Cunningham.
Yeah. McFarlane under pressure, but he finds Jimison. Always available on the right-hand side. Plays back to McFarlane, out to Anderson now. And McFarlane wanders to the penalty box, waiting for the cross to come. It doesn't come yet. Stevens. And he finds Jimison. Jimison goes down in the box. The Portmore boys are asking. There is a goal, no question. And she hardens her ears and runs off.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Jimison still down. Looks to be an ankle problem or an instep problem of foot. Let's see what happened. Did he have his foot stepped on? Yes, did have his foot stepped on by Earl Simpson. So there was more than a little bit in that.
Not sure if her view was that it was soft, but certainly made contact. Didn't make contact with the ball, that's for sure. And it was probably slightly on the calf down towards the instep or the ankle in terms of where he connected.
Say whatever you say, Mr. Analyst, to the sum total is I'm feeling pain. And we see the first water break of the afternoon in the 24th minute. Portmore United flew out the traps, went in front. Shea Smith walloping the ball beyond William Price between the sticks for Arnett Gardens. And then up front, that man, Ronaldo Cephas, went on a dribble and engaged that change of pace that Gawain Austin knew nothing about. Left him for dead. The goalkeeper flew to Austin's rescue, but Cephas prodded the ball beyond his advance. And that's how we find ourselves square in this JPL game. So this is the Portmore United goal. Rose has Smith to his left. Is it into space for him? And Smith, look at that strike. Clean, right across the goalkeeper. Price trying to cut the angle.
Good vision by Damar Rose. I think Portmore are better off with having him in the midfield in terms of the vision of things, and that was an excellent pass to Smith, and what a finish. And then Cephas, change of pace, great acceleration, good skill to keep the ball close to him, and then the toe poke finish for Cephas. He had an opportunity 2 minutes or 5 minutes before that was saved by Edwards, but not on this occasion.
Yeah, similar run bringing the same result. You know that you recall the famous goal that Diego Maradona scored against England at the Mexico World Cup '86.
Why did you have to remind me?
Well, I've said this to say that in a friendly against England at Wembley in 1985, the year before, he had made a similar run like that.
And kicked just wide.
And he says his brother told him, well, you shouldn't have shot after beating the last defender. You should have gone and taken it around the goalkeeper.
Yes.
So he says that on that dribble in Mexico, he was remembering his brother saying to him, don't shoot after you get around the last defender. Go around the goalkeeper and then you'll have the empty goal. And that's exactly what he did. So Cephas, the same run earlier, the goalkeeper blocked it. Same run. Moments later, he came up trumps. Here he's again against Tajay Anderson now. Inside. Go through his cross, is blocked by Alvinus Mares, came off Mares' hip. Willis takes a touch, finds Deacon inside early. Not sure if that was the right decision, and then Emilio Rousseau closed down by Willis, and unhappy because he felt Willis used some studs, and the studs were showing in coming through to block his attempted clearance. Referee says no free kick, it's a goal kick.
There's a bit of a dangerous challenge. Here it is. Look at the leg raised here. That's a dangerous challenge.
And that's what Rousseau is saying.
Yeah, that should have been a yellow card for Cunningham as well. How could you go in like that with a straight leg, stud showing?
I think she gave a free kick. If you notice where the ball is positioned, yeah, so she gave Rousseau the free kick right there. But you're saying that it should have been a card as well.
I think it's a goal kick she gave. It was on the 6-yard line.
Well, there you go. So Rousseau doubly angry. No free kick, no card, nothing.
It might be triple angry, because I remember the penalty shout as well.
Willis
that was the last play.
Yeah, Willis again, another hard challenge. This time, Coulson believing that, well, Willis upset at the call, and now McFarlane and Simpson are involved in a shoving match.
Important for her to take control of the game. You just don't want it to get out of hand, and by allowing these kind of tackles to go by without a card or a warning, it's going to get out of hand.
Willis has gone down. Based on how the players are lining up, it looks like it's going to be an Arnett Gardens free kick. But he felt that McFarlane had his studs raised.
Yeah.
And it's funny he's saying that now, because just moments earlier, that's the same complaint Rousseau leveled against him.
I think I said Cunningham a time before. Cunningham is
Willis.
on the bench. It's Willis,
Yes.
Willis.
Yeah, I recognize. Here's a Juma Johnson for Arnett Gardens now. Forward to Cephas. Strong. Easily holds off Anderson. Gerald Neal. Slowly. Deacon. First time pass forward. Nice touch by Guthrie into the path of Willis. Willis has Arboin to his right, to his left. Arboin is offside.
Well, at least he got the finish right.
Clearly,
get the run right.
Yeah, clearly he's disagreeing with the assistant on this near side, but Guthrie there took a heavy knock
from Austin.
He flicked that ball around the corner behind him to continue that play.
One of the famous Austin challenges.
Yeah. Let's look at the line.
Challenge.
Yeah,
hard
right.
to tell from there.
Well,
yeah,
no,
but he looks like he's advanced.
He's offside. He's offside. Yeah. Even from that angle, you could tell. It was a good finish, though.
It was a good finish.
But worth nothing, eh?
Yeah.
In the end. Austin.
Important to know that it was a good finish, considering we just criticized him for not finishing well enough.
Correct.
But the run.
Austin has beaten Guthrie once already. Willis from distance.
Not happy to see how the challenges are being allowed to continue, though, and I think referee Golson needs to be very careful of that. Just don't want things to get out of hand and then a player to get seriously injured.
Edwards for Portmore in goal. Out to his captain Rousseau. Forward to Rose. Smith wants a piece of it, but Rose is under pressure from Neil, who does ever so well to strip him cleanly. Deacon trying to run by Rousseau. Not on this occasion, but he gets the throw. He's gone about 10 yards further than where the ball went out to take the throw, and Narissa Gosa sends him back.
Good try by Deacon. Nemara Rose is asking her why not a foul. I don't think there was any foul there, though. It was a good tackle.
Slowly under some pressure. They go back to his goalkeeper, William Price. Neil is being closed down by Rose, and Neil plays it into touch. Good pressing by Rose. McFarlane now. 25-year-old inclusion. One of two of them from that Caricom State in this Portmore United team. Austin to Austin, Gawain to Rodolph. Gawain Austin, across to Tajay Anderson, to Jimison. McFarlane into the path of trying to send Tajay Anderson down there in loads of space down the right-hand side, but got the pass wrong.
It's a little bit too hard. How many times have we seen passes on that right-hand side just be overweighted? It's just a common thing on this ground.
Is that where the slope runs?
Yes.
Perhaps
And
that's
then
right.
worse with the breeze as well. Kicking with the breeze. It really runs away.
Simpson goes long, trying to hit Cephas, but only hits the ex-Portmore United striker Kevin Joycey Deere, who's on the bench for the 7-time Premier League champions, 2-time CFU club champions. A big team under two guys is Portmore United, a big team under Hazard's name. Cephas bursts into space. Austin goes across, Cephas gets it before him. Cephas is burst! And it is turned behind by Emilia Rousseau for a corner to Portmore United. What pace by this man, Ronaldo Cephas. Absolutely leaving the Portmore defense for dead. The afterburners switched on, and every man in white left huffing and puffing and struggling in his wake.
Well, there was no way the 36-year-old Rudolph Austin was going to keep up with him. He would have had to put in a rash challenge, and Arboin was waiting for that finish. His head was a little bit low though. I think even if he made contact it would have gone over, but great work by Cephas.
Got three. Headed away, a flying header by Rudolph Austin. McFarlane wins that battle with slowly and plays through. Here's Rose. Shea Smith runs through. He's onside. Shea Smith takes the touch. Shea Smith! Oh, he tips it off the crossbar and cleared into safety by Atuba Johnson. What a chance by Portmore United. What a miss by their number 10.
Unfortunate for Smith. Excellent run. Good ball played through. I was actually surprised that he remained onside. I thought that he might have actually been slightly offside, but he was played on. Good touch with the left boot to chip. I think that was the right option he made. I think he was offside, George.
Well, you know what I did, Chris? I thought the first thing I did the moment he touched the ball was look for the flag on the far side. The assistant's flag stayed down, so I got excited after that. But I thought that he was offside as well.
Yeah. Who was it that was running with him? Was it McFarlane?
McFarlane played the through pass.
So it might have been Jimison who was running with him.
It was Rose, yeah. Rose.
Not a bad option in terms of the finish. Just unlucky that he got there underneath of the crossbar. Lovely little chip there. Maybe a little bit too much pace behind it, and that carried it too high.
Jimison has found himself on this left-hand side. First time this afternoon. He's straying into unfamiliar territory. Has done a lot of work down the Portmore right.
Yeah. Both himself and Smith have decided to switch flanks.
Gawain Austin now. Looks to hit Tajay Anderson with the long ball. Anderson on his bike, so to his Earl Simpson. And Simpson eases off the throttle when he realizes it's going to run into touch.
As I say, once it comes off the slope there.
Teacher barking instructions at his charges. Not the most vocal of coaches. Does his talking in the intervals during the breaks. Rarely seen berating players. Some coaches will tell you, well, teacher doesn't coach the players we do. These players need berating all game long. Anderson whips it in. Gerald Neal interferes with it though. Rousseau's header to Jibison, who's come to work near side. Looks for the cross, doesn't see an option he likes, and goes back to Gawain Austin, one of his centre halves, all the way at the half line. Smith's flick into space for Tajay Anderson, and the slope, Chris Taylor.
I think it was a good flick. I think Anderson was on the back foot though.
I think it was a long flick, Chris. it took a little bit too much weight on it.
Yeah. Anderson's first move though was back, which meant it actually caught him by surprise.
Yeah, he was on his
should have been expecting that.
Yeah, he was on his heels somewhere. But I think it was just a little bit too long.
Maybe.
So, 35th minute we were in. We've seen 2 goals. We've seen some good goal mode action. Deacon chased that down with the gusto of a man desperate to get there. It's the throw for Portmore United. Rousseau and Deacon clashing. These two have had several duels so far in this half. Maybe 50-50. Deacon has won a few, lost a few. Martin, nice over the head of Stevens into space for Cephas. Look at the speed again. Cephas is brought down by Tajay Anderson. Marisa Gold says no foul. That ball first. Well, Tajay Anderson must have a prosthetic leg to have gotten only ball on that occasion. Cephas is down. Looks to be injured, but Arnott Gardens play on. Arboin into the path of a Juma Johnson. Arnott are playing on despite their striker being down, and Johnson inside. Well, he kicks the ball onto the pro and Cephas. I don't know, Nerissa goes to stops the play. I'd love to get a replay of that. That looked like a foul from real time, but let's see what the replay says.
Especially considering he was coming from behind.
So
Look at this.
yeah.
Cephas was ahead of him.
But that's a foul.
There's no way he can play the ball before he plays a man. He's coming from the outside region.
But you heard
Cephas
what I
got
said.
ahead of him. Yeah, I heard what you said.
Meaning that he must have had a prosthetic, because that's the only way he could have got to the ball first.
That's a certain foul.
That's a free kick.
He might have got the ball eventually, but he certainly touched the foot
And
first.
that's the point.
Touched the leg first.
That's
so
the point.
he had to go through the leg, and something like that though, you're just supposed to pick up. Once he's coming from the outside, the attacking player's leg is ahead of him. He has to play the leg unless he's going to use his foot like a hook, which he didn't.
Again, prosthetic, Chris. So it can extend. He presses a secret button,
Yes.
and the leg gets longer. But in about 2 steps, not even strides, in 2 steps, Cephas had eaten up the ground between himself and Anderson and was gone. Wow.
Very quick.
Rousseau and Deacon once again. Rousseau takes the easy option, the pass. So a triangle of passes involving McFarlane and Jibison. Jibison very upset at McFarlane. Very upset at McFarlane for the overweighted pass. And St. Lucian defending his corner, saying nothing was wrong with the pass. The pass wasn't wrong, the run was wrong. Cephas off the field, off the pitch. Looks to be a shoulder injury. Right shoulder. Getting some treatment. Arnott Gardens temporarily down to 10. I missed all that, Chris, real time, because I was watching the argument between the Portmore boys. Here's Shea Smith on the left foot. He's thinking of a shot. Oh, lovely tackle by Martin. Martin goes down on the Stevens' challenge. And Earl Simpson boots this long. Arboin after it. Austin manufactures a clearance. And the Juma Johnson comes back. And it's an offside call against Shea Smith, who was offside, then ran onside to challenge. Hence the assistance flag. Arboin goes down under Gawain Austin's challenge. Goldson ignores him. Guthrie beaten to it by Rose. Jimison outside to Rousseau. Rousseau back to Rodolphe Austin. I can tell you that Neymar Rose has improved Portmore's play 39%.
I like your numbers.
Yeah, he wasn't a part of the first game, and they weren't this good as an attacking unit, not as cohesive. Anyway, Rousseau against Deacon once again. Let's see how this battle goes now. Deacon brushed off by the stronger man who crosses the ball low. Simpson right there, just inside his 6-yard box to effect the clearance.
He's a McCarthy version for Portmore United.
Yes, sir. Yes, he is.
Certainly maintains possession, good pass of the ball, vision as well. He's come a little bit deeper now, Rose. Number 11 for Portmore.
Neil gets there just in time, but still Portmore ball. Rousseau.
That's not a good ball from Rousseau.
Simpson under no pressure. Could afford to control, and now Deacon. Rousseau comes back to challenge. Deacon gets away from Rousseau, gets away from Jimison, and shoved over by Jimison. 2 hands as well. And Deacon wants the card. Look at him. He's asking the referee if that's not a bookable offense. What is, Madam Referee?
How he's behaving.
Yeah, and she's saying,
how he's behaving is a bookable offense.
Yeah, she's saying, young man, the histrionics aren't for you. This isn't acting class. This is a football match. And
he's right.
I was about to see you as a case.
Yeah. But I don't like to see when players, request bookings for other players. But yeah,
the referee's in charge.
Again, another challenge that goes by elbow in the back of Deacon.
Headed by Arboin, just kept out by Eric Edwards. It was a harmless free kick that Shabani Willis just curled into the box. And somehow the Portmore United defenders all statuesque in the moment. And how Arboin didn't beat Edwards, only he knows. He headed it straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Meanwhile, Cephas trying to dance away from Anderson. Loses that duel. But the referee, Juma Johnson thought the referee was going to give him a throw. But the referee wasn't going to do that. Good turn by Rose just outside his 18-yard box. Through to McFarlane. Anderson gets on it now. Alvinus Mars. Rose. In a pocket. And the referee gives him a free kick.
Yeah, the whistle still works.
Where's the midfield? Check, take the line early. Line early.
Careless
Line early.
challenges within the middle of the park. It's opening up a bit, especially within the middle. There's a bit more joy for both teams, actually.
Austin now. Short to Malik Stevens, the shortest man on the pitch.
What has been noticeable is that the Portmore back line not the fastest, and Arnett Gardens front players very fast, and so they've been found napping on quite a few occasions, even though we haven't seen some of the best finishing at times.
Yeah, Arboin culpable. Some imprecise finishing. Shot off the ball there just now by Gawain Austin.
But Deacon, Cephas and Arboin certainly faster than the Portmore back line, and you would like to see the balls played into space for them to run against them.
Moving pass by Austin down to Emilio Rousseau, but Gerald Neal read the danger. He's out in a flash to break up Rousseau's intended pass for Jibison. The hard-working Rose to Stevens. Rose, what will he do with it? Goes back to Austin. Austin to his namesake. Wider wide, as they say. And widest wide is to Jay Anderson. Juma Johnson goes to shadow him. Anderson, good pass to Alvinus Myers. Back around to McFarlane. McFarlane can score! He clears the crossbar from a very, very good position. And Leonard Teacher Hyde, the Portmore United coach, walks away in disgust.
It's a crazy finish by McFarlane. You could tell he was just not comfortable on the ball though, like he didn't want to finish, just didn't have the confidence. He was leaning away, didn't get over the ball, didn't go for the far post because he was leaning away, and badly miscued. Look at this. Oh, should have been going for the far corner like his teammate Smith did earlier in the half.
Went for a lot of power.
It's a bad miss.
Javik McFarlane, a lot of power. Meanwhile, the battle between Rousseau and Deacon continues. Deacon just had a little shove, almost like a sucker punch he tried on Rousseau, who took exception to that. And the assistant referee on this near side giving both men a lecture. Larissa Goldson doesn't have to say anything because her assistant is telling off both men to behave themselves, especially Deacon.
Well, he was telling Deacon that it is his last warning.
Farlin through pass for him, cut out by Earl Simpson. And here's that man again, the speed ball. Ronaldo Cephas encouraging his colleagues to get forward, but his pass is misdirected.
Yeah. Right idea, not the best in execution. Too close to the keeper.
The kind of player you want to see more of all the time, Ronaldo Cephas. Gets you excited when he picks up possession. Rousseau, Rose's pass. Perhaps the first bad pass Rose has played all first half.
What Arnett Gardens actually need is a very good creator within the middle. We haven't seen much of that from them. As you said, you can see it in Portmore in Rose.
Yeah.
But Arnett don't really have that. So I find that the ball is not getting to some of these players enough.
Cephas back to Ajuma Johnson. Well-traveled Ajuma Johnson. Ex-Cavalier Tivoli and Boys Town. Arboin goes chasing. He beats Rodolphe Austin. Arboin! Don't finishing! Pick that one out! Chris Taylor said he needed to brush up on his finishing, but he didn't brush up. He did more than that. And he absolutely powdered that effort. Eric Edwards, no chance he would have stopped that from going into the back of his net. He cracked it in for 2-1. And look at the teacher. He wants the students in the classroom, inside that dressing room, to to give them a lecture. They find themselves 2-1 down Portmore United after running out in front early in this contest.
Excellent finish by Kimani. As he said, he didn't brush up, he polished it. And that was an excellent finish. You know his pace already, but that was a quality finish with the instep. Cutting nicely to beat Austin and into the far corner. That is what McFarlane should have done at the other end. Kicking to the far corner. Beautiful finish.
Yeah.
Too much pace for Edwards.
And then he does the disco dance. Maybe he's dancing to Michael Jackson's Bad and Bad. You know it in his head. Yeah, that was a bad finish. And the play to get rid of Rudolph Austin, he flicked it between Rudolph Austin's legs. So it was the nutmeg or the salad. And then the thumping finish.
Or the donut.
Wow, I've never heard it called. You're making something new. Go ahead, why not?
That's what they call it in the MLS, donut.
All right, the MLS.
Yes.
That's the league that gave us the shootout.
Correct.
No.
The sudden death, you mean?
No, the shootout where rather than go penalties, you dribbled from the half line.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was a shootout back in the time when Andy Williams played with distinction over there. So yeah, but that effort on goal, my. Come on, yeah, boy. Yeah, he heard you, Chris, and he said, "All right, Mr. Commentator, watch this." A salad and a goal from the same sequence. Yeah, Austin, the veteran, victimized on that occasion.
Excellent finish. Charlie Smith due up front, bearing fruit for Annette Gardens.
Willis's crosses. I think Austin got something on it. Smith beat by perhaps the only man on the field faster than him, Cephas. Here's Ajuma Johnson, goes forward with a shot. More like a cross. He was looking for Arboin, I can tell you that. And Austin got in the way. The veteran trying to, well, he did atone for that challenge just now. Here is Martin, dances around Austin. Loses out though. Shea Smith back in his 18-yard box. The Portmore United striker helping with the defending. Rose, Neil slide, but the tackle isn't good enough. And Willis is pushed over. It was a handball call. They said Rose, while trying to keep his balance, used his hand to keep possession of the ball. There is a goal, so spotting that and giving the free kick. Chris is breathing as if he disagrees with the call. It was a handball, my friend. The left hand, the left arm to be precise. Willis under pressure from Rose. Slowly. Willis over the top, trying to find the captain Guthrie. Alvinus Myers in midfield for Portmore. To Smith. To Stevens. Back to Smith. Into space is Jimison, but Jimison doesn't get the pass. Smith took too long and Jimison is upset with him. I would be too. Smith looked at him and didn't play the pass. Arboin has come back deep to help his team build from the back. Exchanges passes with Deacon. Back with Arboin. The big switch. Ajuma Johnson now. All day to take that down. Ajuma Johnson forward into space, but Guthrie, the pass is overhit and Austin takes it. Asks Jimison to build the attack from this left-hand side. Comes in field, Jimison to Rose. Rose pushed over by Arboin. Rose looks at the referee, who puts the whistle in her mouth promptly and blows for the end of a very good first half of football here at the UWI-JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. 3 goals we've seen in this first half, a half that has flown by. That man in your picture, Shea Smith, put Portmore United ahead with a thumping finish off the left foot, and then Arboin, the 3rd goal of the half, the last goal of the half. Back with us here, we are in our own little corner of this 653-acre site that houses the University of the West Indies' Mona campus in Jamaica. We are at the UWI-JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence, where Portmore United and Annette Gardens will do battle in the penultimate game of match week 2. These two,
with his burst of speed down there, and Arboin as well. So both defenses have shown that they will give up chances, so it's just whether they're going to take them or not. And I'm sure 3 goals is not all we're going to see.
Myers. Big right boot by Gawain Austin. Rousseau runs back to try to help. It's over there in the flat. This is Cephas. Dribbles inside. Around one challenge. Trying to look for the strike, you thought. But the ball ran away from him. They win it back to Arnott. Guthrie to Deacon. Deacon through the legs of Austin. But Arboin's run a little bit wild. Good turn by Myers to get the ball out of defense. Transitions into the midfield for Portmore United. Jimison kept it in. Tries to run by slowly, but slowly isn't slow. Shepherds it back to Gerald Neal. Central to Earl Simpson. Forward to Damari Deacon. Deacon over dribbles. And lucky that the clearance of Portmore went back to Ajuma Johnson, who ticks him off, saying, "You should have passed it to me early." And Deacon trying to explain why he didn't pass to the man wearing number 10 for the Junglers. Anyway, Arnott Gardens build from the back. Their last 7 games have seen only 1 win in the Premier League. But here's Arboin racing against Austin Arboin, but Austin gets there just in front of Arboin, trying to bring down the goalkeeper as he slid through. But that time, Austin matching up against a man with similar pace and was able to keep pace with Arboin. Very thankful Austin was that it wasn't the Arnott Gardens attacker wearing number 7 who's made his life difficult so far, Ronaldo Cephas. Yeah, I was saying that Arnott Gardens in the last 7 games in the Premier League have won only 1. That came August 16 last year, that 3-1 win against Portmore United. That result followed by a 4-1 loss to Waterhouse, a 1-0 draw with Dunbeholden, 1-0 loss to Harbourview, and a 2-1 loss to Cavalier to open this season. So Arnott, long overdue a win. They have their noses in front, but it's a long way to go still. And the last 4 games for them in Premier League football has seen 3 defeats and 1 draw. The Junglists want a W in the results column.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle for them.
Cephas through, but Arboin was coming short. Cephas' ball was long, but nevertheless, it still ran through, and Deacon pressured the goalkeeper, Eric Edwards, who came out with his feet to clear his lines.
There's 2 victories in all of last season for Arnott Gardens. 8 points a match, that's really low for their standards.
And 8 goals, that's the most shocking thing about the Arnott Gardens statistics last year. 8 goals from Arnott Gardens in over a 10-game stretch. Unbelievable. Way below the Gunners, the Junglists' lofty standards. Martin driving through the midfield. And he trots on the ball. And Shea Smith can come the other way for Portmore, asking a lot of McFarlane. Neal gets first run and guides the ball back to his goalkeeper Price. Plays in Simpson. The Deacon, who's come very deep to help. Martin eases off Alvinus Mars. Neal has some time. Goes long. Oh, it sails over the head of Austin. Arboin runs into space, doesn't have much help, has 2 men to his right. Austin. Arboin, it comes to Cephas. Cephas! Curling for the top right-hand corner. Willis was saying that was the wrong option. Willis was at the top of the 18-yard box, just inside the D. Bad decision? Bad decision, Chris?
No. By who?
Cephas.
No.
Poor execution, though.
Yeah, all right. I think he should have done better. On his favoured left foot, the ball coming over at a nice pace. Here you see the build-up again. Great run by Arbo, and that's what he's really good at. I would never be passing that on my left foot, George. I think that was the right option by Cephas. He just needed better placement. And again, a shot over the bar, but yeah, great run by Kimani Arboin. That is his biggest talent, how he runs, really puts in the yards.
Juma Johnson through to Arboin once again, gets the run on Austin. Can he keep it in? Oh, the quick turn, but he had drifted just outside of play. The eagle-eyed assistant on that far side, raising the flag to indicate goal kick.
Works very hard, the Arnott Gardens number 12, really puts in the yards. As I said, the goal today, just his 3rd in his Premier League career, which actually started in 2016. So, as we said, he doesn't score many goals, but his work rate, I'm sure, is what has kept him in the starting 11 for Arnott Gardens.
Well, over time, his path in the Iron Gardens team, especially up front as a starter, and criminal from Gawain Austin. Under no pressure, had all the time in the world, and somehow Austin dribbled the ball into touch. I was making the point that Arboin's path to the Iron Gardens starting 11 has been blocked by some good strikers over time, including Fabian Reed, the leading goal scorer over previous Premier League campaigns. So when we saw him with bits and pieces of the action. Certainly a main man these days, as we see offside goal against Cephas. Disagreeing with the assistant on our far side. Austin in possession for Portmore United. Rose under pressure from Guthrie, but runs away from him and plays in. Jibison has gone over there on the left. Willis wins that battle. Plays Simpson. Rather awkward looking from Simpson. That should have been a pass, but it turned into a clearance. Anyway, Iron Gardens retained possession. Slowly forward to Cephas and just wanted to turn, let it run into space and then run at Emilio Rousseau. The ball ran into touch. It would have been a good race between Cephas and Rousseau. I'd still favour the Iron Gardens number 7 though, even though Rousseau is quick.
Not as quick, yeah.
Who's not as quick? Rousseau?
Rousseau is not as quick as Cephas for sure.
Good touch by Martin. Under pressure from McFarlane. Still Martin. Needs some help. Finds Deacon, who goes down on the challenge from Austin. No foul, says Goldson. And now Shea Smith. Didn't see any help. And he lost possession.
It's not necessarily the top end speed of Cephas, but it's the acceleration over a short distance that really takes him away from players.
Yeah. 0 to 16, no time. Almost like the big match winning number 10 for Edwin Allen, Jaheim Harris. When he touches it and just moves, it's just so deceptive. Very, very quick over a short distance. Tremendous burst. And yeah, players who have that quality, very dangerous.
Scored a brace in the Ben Francis final to help Edwin Allen to a 3-2 victory. Exciting game it was against X.
Big time performance, big performance from Edwin Allen. Willis.
First schoolboy football title.
Yeah.
This man was very good at schoolboy level as well. Ajuma Johnson played for Camperdown.
Yep.
Wore the number 7. They called him Suarez. He used to play in a much more advanced role. It's actually very unusual to see him at left back because he was an attacking midfielder at that time.
Well, I can tell you with certainty. Oh, lovely turn by Guthrie to leave Alvinus Mars on the turf. I can tell you that this is the first time he's played at this Premier League level in this position. Every time we've seen him, we saw him for Cavalier, for Boys Town.
Yes.
For
he's been
Tivoli.
around.
He's been an attacker, a winger. At Tivoli especially, he was the substitute they drew for when they were chasing a game. And he would come and excite the crowd with his incisive runs at Juma Johnson.
You see him wearing the number 10 as well. That's the role he used to play. He used to wear number 7, but he played in a number 10 role for Camperdown when they went all the way to the semi-finals of the Manning Cup. And the scouts loved him. I remember scouts coming down from North America and they were really impressed with him.
Jibison. A lot of work for Portmore United. Rose has been running the game. Malik Stevens has also been busy with the number 16 shirt of Portmore. They take their time about their attack. Austin to Austin, they'll go in possession. Forward to Smith. Willis fouling Myers, and this is the first yellow card of the game. Shavani Willis goes into the book.
Yeah, he should have been in the book already, Willis. So fully deserved. Nursa Golson was right on point. Excellent position for that call.
Alvinus Mars still laid out, holding the right foot. Player who has been on the books of...
What a name as well, eh?
Yeah.
George.
Alvinus Mars, yeah. Has been on the books of Uptown Rebels in his native St. Lucia. Has played for Barbados SA. Played in Trinidad for, well, Trinidad and Tobago for David John Williams' W Connection.
Oh, yes.
No, here.
Big team in Trinidad.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
In fact, W Connection, if I'm not wrong, have won the most titles in
Yellow card.
Trinidad's Premier League.
Going to hand the cards number
That's the
21.
watcher, Benny Hyde,
Shivani Willis
plotting
in the
a way back into this game for
55th
his team.
minute.
His St. Lucian international teammate who plays for the Sport United team, Javick McFarlane, has 3 international goals, Chris. That's big. Played a couple of Nations League games for St. Lucia as well.
Yes.
Both men. It's always good to see. We were talking about Portmore and their history of CARICOM representation, not just Jamaicans in their team. And of course you have to talk about the gold standard, and the reference point is their former captain Anthony Modeste, the Grenadian, who was a part of a lot of the success of this now St. Catherine based club. Of course when they started as Hazard United in 1985 they were Clarendon based. Anyway, a Clarendon man, born and bred there. Rudolph Austin is lining up this free kick. Let's see if the old boy still has it. Rousseau is taking an interest as well.
He's had some famous ones over time.
4-man wall and Austin goes. And Chris, what say you about your narrative and this part of the field and shooting from range?
Yeah. They have damaged the building behind. Rudolph Austin, though, has had some famous free kicks from that sort of distance over the years. Impressive ones for the Reggae Boys as well. Curling from outside the wall and bending back in, banana in as we would call it.
Yep. Long ball looking for Arboin. It bounced and just picked up speed off the turf. And he acknowledges the effort, acknowledges the pass from the back. Austin for Portmore United there, 2-1 down. Took the lead, but didn't really get to consolidate the lead.
Should have as well, because Shea Smith had a wonderful opportunity and found the crossbar.
Good turn by Simpson under pressure, but he loses out to McFarlane. McFarlane has Smith running with him, but Simpson runs back and robs the St. Lucian at the crucial moment.
McFarlane, another man who should have scored as well and made a mess of it.
Deacon, short side to Arboin into the path of Guthrie. Arboin sent it into space, but Deacon doesn't have that speed. Deacon is quick with the ball, not so quick without.
Yeah. But there was no way so much weight should have been on that pass from Kimani Arboin.
Not even the great Hugh Bolt would have gotten there. Well, great is ordinary and Bolt isn't ordinary, so the legend Hugh Bolt would not even have attempted to chase that one.
Oh, that was way too hard.
Yeah. The James Harden beard is not just in basketball. Arboin sporting the look at this time. Simpson and McFarlane go for the header. Rose beaten to it by Simpson. Plays it to Deacon. Asks Ajuma Johnson to do a lot. Jay Anderson runs across. Gets the block in. Effected by the right back for Portmore United. We're in the 59th minute. Anderson stolen in front of Deacon and finds Jibison. Loses his footing in a dangerous place, but rights himself. Stevens can build from the back for Portmore now. Smith, tackled by Neil. Illegal tackle, says Marissa Goldson. Neil apologizes to Smith. Alvinus Mars takes the free kick quickly. Rousseau, forward to Smith. In the half turn, Smith! And it's a goal! Oh no! Stevens crashes into the far post when it looked easy to score it. Actually, it's the number 9, Janik McFarlane. And he looks to have hurt himself, the St. Lucian. The medical staff on the scene very quickly, but he'll be all right. I think he's just, his feelings are hurt more than anything else.
A bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that was.
I thought that was a goal.
I'm not sure how that wasn't finished.
Substitution
Here is
for
Smith.
Portmore.
Good turn by him. It was going
Number 8.
just a little bit late at the back post. McFarlane. Lovely flick by Smith onto his favoured left foot. Scuffed the shot, but McFarlane went under his foot in front. It went under McFarlane's foot. He should have finished that, and it's his second really good opportunity today. And well, that could have been the equaliser.
Speaking of Stevens, he's left
Malik
the field, Malik Stevens.
Replaced there by
Number
24,
24,
Shaniqui
Saniki Burton comes in, and so too does Rivaldo Mitchell, number 26. And Javik McFarlane, that was to be his last act of
And
the game.
number 9,
Missing a glorious chance.
Javik McFarlane.
In St.
Will be
Lucia
replaced by number
leaves the
15.
field to only one St. Lucian on the park.
Substitution
Yeah,
in
that's
the
the Nicky Burns.
61st minute.
Who's just come in. Beg your pardon, that's actually Rivaldo Mitchell, who had a taste of the first game and gets another taste. Meanwhile, Ajuma Johnson is down for Arnett Gardens in the left back position. There's a groin problem that Johnson seems to be complaining about. I don't know, his body language suggests that he may be in some trouble.
Yes. Not used to this position as well, left back. Well, asking a lot of defensive duties of Johnson as well. Not renowned for those. There's DeMar Rose coming into the starting lineup today. Has looked a bit tired in the second half though, and wondering if his fitness is not up to peak yet.
Yep. Meanwhile, Aaron Elliott has also entered the fray for
McFarlane after that miss.
Yeah. So Saniki Burton on,
Elliott
Rivaldo
on.
Mitchell on, and Elliott on. So 3 changes made by Portmore United. 3 in one swoop by the teacher, Lenny Hyde. And it would have to be something drastic because he's the man chasing the game. Poor old Ajuma Johnson, Chris, it looks to be a groin injury. He has to be helped off the pitch. And his day is done, it looks like. Yeah, there's a substitution being readied over on the far side.
Yeah.
So Arnott will play with 10 for the moment.
And Mitchell was on for Jibison.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ronaldo Wright is preparing to come in for Ajuma Johnson. Direct switch at left back. Number 3 to replace number 10 when play allows.
Stay on the box, stay on the box.
Here's one of the substitutes.
Hey, get away!
Rose. Haven't seen that much of him in the second half for Portmore United. It's understandable if he has faded. Elliott finds himself in a dangerous position outside. The cross comes in from Anderson at the back post. And it was Rivaldo Mitchell who couldn't steer his header goalwards.
Yeah, got a little bit too far.
Substitution for Arnett Gardens, number 10,
Meanwhile, the change is made.
Ajuma Johnson.
Johnson is off and
Replaced by
Ronaldo
number
Wright is
3,
on.
Ronaldo Wright.
Yeah, Mitchell just sprinting in, but
Substitution
too far under
65.
it. There is confirmation of Burton for Stevens.
Yeah, Johnson holding the ground now even as he's walking. Looks to be really struggling. And the barrel-chested Ronaldo Wright comes on to replace him. Meanwhile, Arboin sprinting after this one with Austin hot on his heels. Does he win a corner? Yes, he does. Very good play by Kimani Arboin.
Great fitness to him. Really works hard, Arboin. That is, as I said, the most noticeable thing about his game. The work rate. Puts in a shift, really gives options up front, and is comfortable with playing as a lone man as well.
Corner kick, the new man, Ronaldo Wright will take it. Ajuma Johnson just walking by or coming into position. Yeah. Anyway, Wright lines up this corner kick. Arnott have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men in the box. Wright's corner kick can't beat the first defender, who's Alvinus Miles. Rose. Can't get around the tackle of Deacon and he turns it over. Simpson back to Willis. Willis all the way back to Neal.
Just as you mentioned, Johnson, if it is a full groin injury, he'll be out for a while.
Yes, sir. Slowly can't reconnect with Willis, but slowly wins it back for Arnett Gardens. To Deacon now. Deacon going through his bag of tricks, trying to shake. Trying to shake Rivaldo Mitchell, but doing too much on the touchline there. The Barry Deacon. Anyway, he runs back and wins it. Deacon runs at Rudolph Austin, ball inside! And going Austin is there, Deacon again! And Kimani Arboin, the ball fell to his feet, but he could get no power on the effort. And Eric Edwards gathered gleefully.
Good work put in by Deacon. It's a real nuisance in the flank areas, Deacon.
Austin under pressure from Arboin. Arboin just got there, just got a piece of it. But Austin had enough to send it back to his goalkeeper. Meanwhile, it comes short side to Anderson. Arnett men hunting in packs. Burton into space, taking the pass from Alvinus Mars. Marlon Martin runs back and does well. This is the new man Ronaldo right. To his goalkeeper Price. Simpson, a lot of time left in this game. Ball too long for Wright, and Burton plays it with Shea Smith. Back into midfield to Myers. Anderson now at right back for Portmore. Strong tackle. Marlon Martin going in. And Shea Smith, the man on the end of that challenge, and it's a yellow card for the hard-working Arnett Gardens midfielder, Marlon Martin.
Interesting to see the replay of that one. Smith is still down.
Yeah, that was a hard.
Seems like he's in serious pain.
Yeah.
Yellow card for Martin. He thinks he's
Yellow
innocent.
card going to Arnett Gardens number 15.
Yes, definitely.
His
yellow card.
intention was to play the ball.
Yeah.
That's clear. But the studs in the follow through. Oh,
Yeah, right
that's
into the
painful.
ankle of Smith.
Yeah.
Going at full force as well. Certainly a yellow card.
Yes.
And that would be painful for Smith.
When, Chris? Now or after the game? After he's shown
Both.
and the blood has cooled.
Yes, it will be worse later.
Oh yes, sir.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yes.
painful now.
Oh yes.
It will be swollen later.
Still feeling the pain, Shea
Worse.
Smith. Yeah.
Hoping that
So let me ask you now,
it's not
Chris.
further than just the pain.
Yes, let me ask you now. So Lenny Hyde has made 3 changes. So he's rolled the dice 3 times. He has Burton, he has Rivaldo Mitchell, he has Aaron Elliott on. If you, what needs to happen on the pitch now? What do you tweak? What do you change? Do you replace Rose as he run out of gas for you, or are you keeping him on because of his quality? What does that man do now from here, Chris Taylor, to get back into this game?
I think he's going to leave Rose on the park once the
Beg your pardon, they've signaled change. They've signaled substitution for Shea Smith. The stretcher is on.
so that's a forced change.
Yeah, and I just saw the universal
Yeah.
roly sign, which indicates change. And Shea Smith, young man who opened the scoring this afternoon, is going to leave us on a stretcher, it seems. Good to see Decoy Williams on the Arnett Gardens bench. He was at Harbourview as his playing days wound down. Of course, a Premier League champion with Arnett Gardens.
Yeah. The captain Guthrie getting instructions as well from
Yeah, never good to see this. So
the coaching staff.
Sorry, Chris. Ajuma Johnson left with a groin injury, and Shea Smith looks to be in tears. He has his shirt over his face. That's always a sign when a player doesn't want the cameras to catch his tears. Yes, it looks to be a serious ankle injury from a crunching challenge from Martin. No ill intent behind the tackle. He was trying to win the ball. Rose up. The number is up for the man wearing number 10 for Portmore United, Shea Smith. Yeah, he comes out.
Substitution there for Portmore number 10.
DeAndre Cunningham
Shea
to replace
Smith,
him.
replaced by number 19, DeAndre Cunningham.
So Smith being taken away by the medical team.
Substitution
They
69.
go with the ambulance. And never a good thing when that happens, but you know, the big cross comes in. Anderson at the back of the chest of Wright, who brings out the bicycle to clear this ball down towards halfway. And the mix-up here is Martin, and it rebounds off him for a throw. Miscommunication between Rose and Austin. They're arguing about it now. Water break, says the referee. You were telling me at the point that Shea Smith picked up the injury, Chris, what the teacher would have to do, Lenny Hyde, to get his team back into the game.
Contest.
Well, he'll have to leave that man on field. There is Lamar Rose. As I said, certainly I don't think he's back to peak fitness, but his ability to pick a pass in the middle and his vision is what's going to bring those substitutes into play, the likes of Mitchell and Burton and company. And you saw that just after you mentioned Rose's fitness, he provided a nice through pass. I think it was to Burton, which opened up the space and created that opportunity, which was headed wide by Mitchell in the end. But it was started from Rose's creativity, and I think you need that within the middle to really free the players out wide. Running is what that man has done very well in terms of Kimani Arboin. He has really added options in terms of his diagonal runs, his work rate up front, his pressing of the Portmore defence, and that will be somewhat needed from the Portmore teams in terms of the substitutions brought on.
Yeah, this is a live table we're looking at now. Thanks to the production team for giving us this. On it now, as things stand, they would be on 3 points if the game finishes as it is. They were 10th, one of 3 teams to have 0 points. And the goals, they have 3 of them already. Remember, they scored 8 in the entire campaign last year. And they already have 3, and this game is not done yet. So, from a numbers point of view, the Junglists showing signs of life.
Are off to a better start. 5-time winners, 4-time finalists.
Yeah.
Arnett Gardens.
And perhaps their record will never be broken. They were founded in 1977, a merger of All Saints and Jonestown teams. They came together to form Arnett Gardens in 1977, and they promptly won the Premier League in 1978. So the question, if there's a trivia question, which team has won the Premier League in Jamaica a year after being formed? The answer, Arnett Gardens. You can thank Chris Taylor when you win your prize for answering that. Meanwhile, Arnett are preparing their most prolific scorer in recent seasons, Fabian Reid, who's just given the fourth official his papers. He's getting set to come in. Anyway, Rivaldo Mitchell working on slowly, through Slowly's legs, but Slowly is covered by Gerald Neal to help. Willis intercepts. Gives it away to DeMar Rose. Rose still working for Portmore. Still their creative link. Austin to Austin in defense. Anderson to the new man. Cunningham to Burton. Back to Cunningham. Switches the play. Can Rousseau keep it in? Yes, he can. Mitchell battling again with Slowly. Pushes Slowly out of the way. No foul on the play, says the referee in support. Meanwhile, sports official holds up his flag for the change. And Fabian Reid is
Substitution
Damari Deacon. He's put in a good shift. Chris, you agree?
Minutes in the wing, on the wing. Quick with the ball, nifty with his footwork. Deacon had a couple opportunities as well, cutting in on his favourite left foot. Trying to bend one into the far corner, you remember, in the first half. Yeah, good shift.
Substitution
Fabian Reid, the man they call Paco Blacks at Arnett Gardens. He comes in, 30 years old now. Headed out by Simpson. Rose's header to Burton. Rose once again under pressure, loses out to Guthrie, who plays it into space for Cephas. Reid offering him support to his left. Still Cephas comes inside Austin. But Rousseau was tracking the run inside. Anyway, Arboyne keeps it alive for Arnett Gardens. Tracked by Anderson. Still Arboyne. Needs some help and comes back this way to Ronaldo Wright. Wright feinted to shoot. Leave it back to Martin. Martin gets away from Burton. Still Marlon Martin. Oh, dances around one challenge. Guthrie through to Martin. This is good football. Oh, it's blocked by Edwards. That was tremendous approach played by Arnett Gardens. And Eric Edwards needed to produce a big save for Portmore United, and he did.
Another great chance to extend their lead, not taken. And will they come back to rue those misses? Great build-up play though. Seems like their captain Guthrie has picked up an injury as well. He's limping in the middle of the park.
I think it may be a carryover from a hard tackle he got from Austin early. Remember that one?
Yes.
In the first half? Yeah, you know how those knocks go, Chris. You've been the recipient of several of them yourself in your career. Yeah, he wants a change, Guthrie. It's his knee.
It was a great pass though. Should have had an assist.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, that wasn't a good finish.
And you realize what happened there? You'd want Fabian Reid to be on the end of that pass, but he was a spectator. Yeah, Guthrie has gone down complaining. He's taken off the armband. He can't continue, is what he's telling his teammates. And this is a third player we're going to lose to injury this afternoon in what has been a game of some hard tackles, but a good game nonetheless.
And in fact, earlier in the play, when Cephas was actually freed and had all the space on the right-hand side, I think the reason he didn't play the pass was that Fabian Reid was in an offside position and he wanted him to adjust his run. As soon as he lost the ball, Cephas, you could see him look to the assistant just to say to him, was Reid in an offside position? Because he wanted to make the pass, but it didn't make sense. Well, he's now on a stretcher, Guthrie, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, the young captain spoke so well before the game and played so well for his team. But it's as if Steve Clark.
We also spoke of the need to for the officials to temper the challenges from early.
You said it
In
earlier.
the first half, yes,
Mhm.
because we didn't want a situation like this where the injuries were starting to flow in. Just probably need to show a yellow card or two
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
just to say to the players, look, keep calm, and this will be the change.
Even though, as we see the changes, so Guthrie comes out number 17 to be replaced by Shandy James, number 11. And then Steve Clark.
Substitution there for Arnett.
Donald
Out
Corriman.
came number
Talking
17,
about
Romeo Guthrie.
I don't think even Ronaldo Cephas is as fast as Steve Clark. Clark is getting set to come in to replace
And number
Kimani
12,
Arbon.
Kimani Arbon. About to be replaced by
They are
number
attacking
27.
from the right-hand side.
And Shandy James is a former Clarendon College man,
Yeah.
midfielder.
Yep. So Arbon comes out.
Substitution in the
And Steve
76th
Clark, the
minute.
ex-Donald Corriman,
Yeah,
comes into the fray.
good shift by Arboin, very good.
Yeah.
Excellent goal.
Gets a hug from his coach.
Yeah, excellent goal, great work.
Yeah, he missed some big chances, but
Yeah,
we won't hold that against him. Anyway, we're back to live action. The game disrupted by the suspensions we've had due to injuries to some players in this game. So the rhythm of the second half, not like we had in the first 45 minutes. There was a sharpness and a radiant quality about the first half that those disruptions haven't allowed us to get. Anyway, Rose around the challenge, a wild challenge
Yellow
of
card
Dean.
shown
Still
to
Rose.
Alligators number 55, goalkeeper William Price in the 77th minute.
All the way across to Rose. Back to Burton, to Rousseau now, trying to work a crossing angle with the left foot, sliding challenge from one of the new men. Actually, that was Marlon Martin, who's got through a lot of work for Arnett Garns, their central midfielder. He's putting a shift. I know Chris is a hard taskmaster, but he would agree that Martin has played well.
he has played well. He's on a card as well, so you need to be careful.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to go down to 10 men on the Gardens.
On the point of card, I wanted to ask you, as we see Portmore United making another change, number 12 coming out.
Substitution for Portmore, out comes number 12,
Gawain Austin,
Gawain Aston.
and number 23,
Gawain Aston, number
22.
about to be replaced by number 22,
Zane Hilton.
Zane
Yeah,
Hilton.
I was about to ask you, Chris, the tackle by Rodolph Austin on Guthrie in the first half, you wouldn't classify that as a free kick tackle, would you? When it was a counter attack that Arnett were building, and it was a one-touch pass from Guthrie over his shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, so you didn't see that as classified as a foul, you wouldn't.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And that was, in
And that's
fact,
part
that
of
was
what
what
you were
led me
talking
to, yeah.
And that's why I wanted to make sure.
Because there were a couple challenges before that were overlooked, and I
Yeah.
think Austin himself was upset about it. So he came in with a crunching challenge of his own to
Yeah.
say, well, okay. And I thought it was a bookable challenge as well. It was a dangerous challenge by Rodolph Austin. And I remember even saying to you, it's one of the famous Austin challenges.
Yes, you did. I just wanted to enrich your
come back to-
narrative. I
to-
wanted to
yeah,
enrich your narrative
yeah.
by reminding you of that. Anyway, Burton into space, but Ayrton Elliott can't get there. Neither can Zane Hilton. So Lenny Hyde has taken out a centre half and put in another attacker as he tries to save this game. And from 1-0 and winning early in the first half to now losing, and he's played all his substitutes. Willis. Cephas in space and was waiting on it, but just as he drew his foot back to make the pass, Anderson tripped him. Just reached in.
Certainly a foul, unfortunate for Willis, but I still think he took a little bit long. What was he
I thought
doing
so
to
too.
wait? Yeah,
I thought so too.
that pass should have been played earlier. Cephas was all alone. You almost welcomed the challenge, Willis.
It's the kind of thing you do, Chris, holding on to the ball so long when you're comfortably ahead and you're wasting time. So you just invite the tackle and go down and take the free kick. But Arnett Garns not out of sight just yet. Martin, will he take a shot? Pops it over the top for Fabian Reed. Reed's first touch, he's offside anyway. First touch wasn't bad, but a non-event in the end. Reed,
Wasn't bad, but it took it a little bit too far away from him.
yeah, played for FC Daila in Georgia in their top flight. Had a stint at San Juan Jablete in the TNT Pro League. Has also played for Boys Town in Jamaica. Not often that you see players from this part of the world playing in Georgia. Georgia is a tough place sometimes. The former president Mikhail Saakashvili went back after exile and was promptly thrown into jail. So Christina, the message for you is make sure you have your right clearance before you go to Georgia. At least tell him I sent you, and you'll be fine.
I was more thinking never go.
Clark. Ooh, Simpson. Oh, a wild tackle by Simpson. And Cunningham goes down. There is a ghost. Wants a word with Earl Simpson. And I don't know what his explanation will be. I would put my hands behind me and smile and ask the referee how she's doing if she's been well over this COVID period. Anyway, he gets away.
That foot was extremely high. Look at this. Well. The only saving grace for him is that studs weren't showing when he went up initially. It was the front of the boot.
Yes, sir.
But ridiculous.
Rose looking for the turn. Turn. Ball breaks but slowly. Eventually clearing his lines, and Arnold Gardens can reorganize in the back. Lenny Hyde still urging his team forward. You can hear him from the touchline. Zane Hilton runs into space on the left side. The cross is low. Trapped by Shivani Willis. His effort to Martin. Wide to Cephas, who's come very deep. Trying to dance around Anderson. He gets away. He's into space. Rousseau between him and space. He runs by Rousseau and trying to close his space on without Austin. And he's going fast. Austin goes down. And the veteran has bought himself a free kick. Cephas saying, I did nothing.
Yeah, that was experience from Rudolph Austin.
Yeah.
36 years of age, certainly can't match the speed. I don't even think he can match half of it. Was there a touch here? Oh, that was silly then by Cephas. Why would he go in like that? Just win yourself a throw or allow Austin to make a mistake?
Austin to Rose. Hilton. Pass 2. Out of his reach. 22's clash now. Slowly versus Hilton. And slowly under pressure. Kicks it into touch. So we're in the 83rd minute. Rademaker's, the Arnold Gardens assistant coach. Pensive look. Lenny Hyde. Both arms akimbo. As he takes in the action and sees Alvinus Mars in possession for him. The St. Lucian. Tajayan is forced the wrong way. And he takes a 360-degree spin and sends the ball across. It's with Rousseau. Forward to Rose. Rose can't connect with Rivaldo Mitchell, and under pressure is the new man for Arnold Gardens, Shandy James, who played it back. Clearance by Gerald Neal. Reed closing down Myers. Looking to close down the goalkeeper, who works it to Rudolph Austin in the back for Portmore United. Burton under pressure because Shandy James was hustling him. Portmore still have it in the back. Arnold Gardens wouldn't mind them keeping the ball in this sector of the pitch. Building very slowly, Portmore. It's still in the back. It's been in their defensive third for about a minute. Now Cunningham looks for the long pass down the flank. And the referee being asked to intervene. The assistant referee on this near side says it's only a goal kick. So we saw an action-packed first half. The second half, as we noted, disrupted by substitutions, prompted by injuries. 3 injuries. Ajuma Johnson, Guthrie, Romeo Guthrie, the Arnott Gardens captain, and then Shea Smith with an ankle injury. Guthrie a knee injury, Shea Smith an ankle injury. And that's the story so far. Anderson in possession for Portmore. Driving forward, turns it over to Ronaldo Wright. into space for Steve Clark. Clark has running space. He comes short to Fabian Reed. Reed holds off the challenge of Rose. This is Clark. Cephas, wanted it clipped over the top for him to run into the space, and Clark admits, accepts that his pass was poor. Just wanted to clip that over the top, but way too much on it. Referee has called a halt to proceedings, and she sent Rudolph Austin to the sidelines. It may be a case where there's blood somewhere, and let's see what happens. Play continues without Austin. Elliott, big and strong, forward to Zane Hilton. Portmore can still snatch something from this game. Good block by Simpson. 400 Gardens in defense. Slowly forward to Cephas, and now he has the space, and he has Fabian Reed for company. Into space for Reed. Cephas on the premises, so too Shandy James. Fabian Reed goes for the curler that Edwards gobbles up to his left.
Well, this time Reed stayed on side, so Cephas could find him easily. Not a bad move, but strike lacked venom.
Rademakers beckoning for his Ardent Gardens team to fall back. He wants numbers in defense at this stage. This is Elliott.
But he has the lead.
Loses out. Rousseau with time for Portmore United. Austin. Long pass out to this right-hand side for Cunningham. Cunningham wins the header. Simpson and Neal. Neal affects the clearance. And now Rose. Driving at the 100 Gardens midfield under pressure. He goes down hoping for a call. Steve Clark breaks into space. Clark touches the ball, got there ahead of Tajay Anderson, who was upset with the call. And Clark will spend some time stretched out on the floor.
Yeah. I wouldn't have given Rose a call before anyhow. Trying to change direction, and I think he just lost the ball, Rose. Versus Green really has pace to him as well. Here it is. Hurdle the challenge.
No, the thigh. The thigh caught Steve Clark's foot, yeah. So he did hurdle the challenge, but the thigh is what caught him high. So just clipped him there. Olsen books him. Tajay Anderson for talking too much, complaining too much. Tajay goes into the cut in the book. The number 29.
Portmore United number 29.
Forward.
Keja Brown. Caution in the 88th minute.
Here he is once again, Brown. Robbed by Shandy James. Still in possession, James, and Brown folds him on that far side.
Skillful midfielder, James. Good pass off the ball as well. Shandy James.
Ronaldo Wright signaling to Gerald Neal that he should play the ball back to his goalkeeper. Neal thought about it, but he's going to send this one long. Austin's header into the path of Cunningham, and the goalkeeper Edwards, under reasonable amount of pressure, kicks it into touch. Banana throw high in the Portmore half. Reed just outside the 18-yard box. His touch isn't good though. Saniki Burton. Elliott into the path of Burton. Forward for Elliott, but Neal comes across, has to get there and does. Gerald Neal, and boasts when he gets across, saying a big boy. Verbal chest thumping from the Arnott Garden centre half there. Giving himself a pep talk and trying to intimidate his opponent at the same time. Alvin S. Myers in the back for Rudolph Austin. All the way across to Emilio Rousseau. To Rose, look how deep Rose is. Forward to Elliott. Elliott rushed by Ronaldo Wright and loses possession, but Rose wins it back. And the referee deems him to have acted done so illegally, and kicks the ball away in frustration, and the Rissa Ghost will book him.
And he should be booked for it. Yamar Rose. Frustration setting in for the Portmore team. Really struggling in terms of potency of front. And even though he's been
There
working
are
tirelessly.
rules.
The calls haven't really gone his way.
Caution
I don't think he
in
was
the 90th minute.
deserving of any of the calls anyhow. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
But you know what? Just now, a crowd of Portmore players surrounded the referee, and they were talking. And Rodolphe Austin, the 36-year-old, the senior man, ran to the group and just dispersed everybody quietly. And for some reason, Ronaldo Wright, the second half substitute, has he talked himself into a yellow card? Well, Nerissa Goldstone reached for it, but she changed her mind. Yeah, but I was just impressed by how easily Rodolphe Austin stepped in to defuse the situation. As we see 5 minutes being held up by the fourth official, so we're going to play 5 minutes of time added on. Let's see if Arnett Gardens can manage these 5 minutes competently, or whether Portmore can find the equalizer or more in the time left. Reed to right.
Fourth official indicates 5 minutes to be added to the end of the
Still keeps it.
second half. 5 minutes to be added to the end of the
Space to run
second
into. Can he
half.
get the cross?
Come on.
It's the pass to Reed.
Nothing,
Good play.
nothing,
Back to
nothing.
Clark. Clark. Alvinus Mars steps in and closes the door. Elliott beaten to it by Shandy James, who's upset with the decisions made by Fabian Reed earlier.
And since the loss of Smith, they just haven't had someone up front that looks dangerous, Portmore. Nobody that looks likely to score. And well, they could really deal with a Rowan Nelson now.
Oh, Rowan Bumpy Nelson.
Oh yes.
Yep, former Premier League leading goal scorer.
In fact, more than one season,
Yeah.
2 or 3 seasons he was leading goal
There was an
scorer.
incredible 3-year period where he was unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable.
Well, they could really do with that now because there's nothing up front for them really, Portmore, and you're struggling to create opportunities.
Rowan Nelson would be in a top 5 all-time Premier League goal scorers list, or in that list with
For sure.
with Devon Hodges and Kevin Pele Wilson.
Pele Wilson.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And
Those Waterhouse forwards, Irvino English.
it would be Kevin Lamey.
Kevin Lamey.
The fact is, Chris, people wouldn't know and recognize how many goals Devon Hodges scored in the Premier League until they looked at the raw numbers and realized that this man has scored a hell of a lot of goals in the top flight. And Michael Jim Dandy Graham Reno, my favorite striker of all time in the Premier League. I'll say that until the day I can't speak. That was my team, Reno, back in the 90s. Willis fires this one into the box. You're commentating on an Arnett Gardens game, so I can't say Arnett is my team now. So I won't say it, Chris.
The team from Westmoreland, Reno.
There's Romeo Guthrie, his legs wrapped in ice. And just being trod on by one of the Portmore players. But he takes it in good fun.
This man has been a standout. There he is. Cephas, really good.
There are some candidates, Mr. Producer, for the man of the match. So Ronaldo Cephas is one, but I don't think he's had the second half to match the first half. If we look elsewhere in Arnett Gardens shirt, I really like how Martin has played. I must tell you though, Chris. Yeah, but Cephas is a candidate. There's no doubt about that.
Cephas' influence on the game anytime the ball has been played for him. And how he brought his striking partner Arborn into play as well. Arborn was a bit wasteful, but Cephas has really created a lot. And has scored a goal as well. Martin has been good within the middle of the park, but
Goal scoring is the most difficult thing to do in football. So you don't have
the
to
thing with Martin is
oversell the
in
Cephas
the
point.
first half as I said, he's had a better second half than first half, and Cephas has probably had a better first half than second half.
Yeah.
I thought Martin in the first half, Portmore did find their way penetrating the middle a little bit more, but he's certainly tightened up things as the game has gone on.
Yeah.
It's either that or DeMar Rose is a little bit more tired.
Well, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because he could still be loose
Yes.
and be victimized by a man who's tired. And Alvinus Mars gets his ankle taken by Shandy James.
Again.
Yeah. But the St. Lucian back up quickly, even though he's feeling pain, because guess what? His team don't have time. They don't have time. We're in the 95th minute, only seconds left in this contest. And this could be the last roll of the dice for Portmore United. Brown comes to take the effort, the free kick, Tajay Brown. Most of the Portmore outfield players are up. Brown can't beat the first man. That's a poor effort. Very, very poor. Narissa Golson signals that it's the end of the game. Arnett Gardens beating Portmore United 2-1. Came from behind to do so. It was a game that really hit the heights in the first half when that man opened the scoring, Shea Smith, for Portmore United.